If you want your room to look absolutely neat and tidy, then you have to be ruthless and throw out the things that are not essential. The word ruthless means showing no mercy, and yes, showing no mercy. And welcome to today's session. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, hi. So today we are going to discuss SSC paper and two papers that we have skipped for 2 weeks. It's, as you know, it happens every second week. So let's get started with the discussion because we have plenty of questions to discuss. Alright, so we have to find out what is the opposite in meaning of the word printed below. Reveal to. Okay, we have to find out the meaning of something that means completely opposite to reveal to. Okay, what is the meaning of revealing something? It means exposing something, right? So this is synonym. This goes into synonym. Presented to again is sort of a synonym. Manifest, what is the meaning of manifested from? The meaning of manifested is something that is clear, okay, or obvious. To the eye or the mind. Alright, that is the meaning of manifest. Okay, so something that is obvious from. Okay, so reveal to, the opposite will be one that is hidden from. Alright, that is the answer for the first one, hidden from. Moving on to the next question. The word is handsome. What is the meaning of the word handsome? Now you need to understand that sometimes these words, you have to look at the options, okay, to understand in which context are the words being used. Okay, so handsome doesn't mean someone who is, okay, you have to find out the opposite. Okay, so handsome means someone who's very smart and elegant and all the good things. So does it mean dear? No, it does not mean someone who's dear to you. You cannot call someone who's dear to you as handsome. Again, but it can be a close, not a close, very far off synonym. Okay, precious is again synonym. Spoilt is just something that is not fit to consume or something like that. Okay, so ugly would be the right answer for handsome. So the opposite of handsome would be ugly. This one was pretty simple. Moving on to the next question. Radiant. Okay, now radiant, I think the word should be radiant, but anyways, radiant, it does not mean full, it means someone who is radiating, means someone who's very happy. Okay, so the meaning of the word, we have to find out same in meaning over here. The meaning of the word radiant is happy. Okay, happy or joyous, any of the above. Spill the beans. Okay, Sony, spill the beans does not actually mean, yes, revealing secret. Okay, so spill the beans is when you ask someone to, if someone is keeping something in their, a skeleton in the closet, that means a secret. Okay, so you ask them to spill the beans. Okay, both are idioms, spill the beans and skeleton in the closet. Cat out of bag, yes. Reveal, yes, both are. Handsome man, beautiful lady, yes, and the opposite of both will be, what will be the opposite? We say sun is radiant. Okay, of course, radiant is something that has, throws out or emits a lot of light, okay, but if I say I'm feeling very radiant today, or yes, I'm feeling very radiant today, that means I'm feeling very happy, very joyous, very cheerful, very bright, and things like that. Okay, so out of all the words that are given here, most closest, okay, would go, not most closest, closest would be happy. Okay, all right, moving on to the next question. Root. Okay, what is the meaning of root? Something that is the main, if I have to say root cause of something, the root cause of him passing the exam was his hard work. That means the main cause for him passing the exam was his hard work. Okay, So that is the meaning of root. Moving on to the next question. Immutable. What is the meaning of the word immutable? Something that is unchanging. Okay, something that does not change with time. Okay, something that remains constant. Okay, so that is immutable. Something that does not change with time or with anything. Okay, yes. What is the meaning of amenable? Amenable means, it is pronounced as amenable, not amenable, amenable. Amenable means open and responsive to suggestion. Okay, these type of people are also very gullible, who are always open to suggestions and who always take people's advice. But amenable is more on the positive context. Synonyms can be of amenable can be someone who's very compliant. Okay, someone who's very compliant, or someone who can be easily persuaded. Or even controlled, for that matter. Okay, so someone who is very gullible, someone who's very open to suggestion is amenable. Okay, it can go anyways. Okay, the word can go anyways. It can be a very positive word. If someone is very amenable, that means he's open to suggestions and open to discussion, and he's very responsive, but at the same time he's also very gullible and can be easily persuaded, things like that. Okay, amicable is friendly. Yes, amicable is friendly. All right, next word is magnificent. I hope all of you know the meaning of magnificent. I'm not going to discuss that word because it is very, very common. Guys, if you can tell me what is the meaning of magnificent. I can only see Sony and Shubham. Okay, what Sony you are asking me is amicable equal to amenable. Now, amicable is someone who's very friendly. Okay, amenable, on the other hand, is someone who is very responsive and open to suggestions. Okay, someone who can be who is very compliant. Okay, when you ask questions or when you ask for suggestions, he's always open to it, and when you give suggestions, he's always open to take suggestions. Okay, so yes, he can be friendly, he can be called amicable, but they are not exactly the same thing. Okay, they both mean two different things. All right, now unchangeable, something that cannot be changed again. Okay, same as immutable. Okay, so you know that the meaning of immutable is unchangeable. What is the meaning of impervious? Impervious means something that does not allow fluids to pass through. Okay, pervious is something that allows fluid to easily flow. Impervious is something that does not allow fluids to pass through. All right. Yes, magnificent means large scale. It can be huge. It can be on a, yes, large scale. All right. All right. Moving on to the next question. So the answer for immutable would be unchangeable, right? Something that does not change with time or cannot be changed. Okay, that is immutable, and so is unchangeable. All right. Moving on to the next question. Hone. What is the meaning of hone? Hone, actually the literal meaning of hone is to sharpen something. Okay, and we always use it with skills. So when we talk about skills, honing a skill, it means refining or perfect something over time. Alright, that is the meaning of hone. Yes, permeable, semi-permeable, impermeable, all these permeable is something that easily lets fluid to pass through. Semi-permeable is semi-permeable membrane. Some fluids it allows to pass through, some does. For some fluid it does not. Okay. And impermeable is something that does not allow any fluid to pass through. Alright. Hone means, like I said, sharpen, and it also means to, when we talk about skill sets or when we talk about practice or something that you can hone your skills, we say usually. Okay, so what should be the word for it? You have to find out which best expresses, that means a synonym for the word. Okay, so what are the words that we have? We have own, we have inculcate. What is the meaning of inculcate? It means instill something. Okay, it can be instill an idea, a habit or an attitude, any of it. Okay, sharpen, again, like I said, hone means sharpen, so sharpen would be the right answer. Okay, adopt, I hope all of you know the meaning of adopt. Adopt is to take something up. Moving on to the next question. The next question that we have is adept. What is the meaning of adept? We are not talking about adapt, we are talking about adept. Okay, someone who's very skilled or someone who's very proficient. Alright, so we have to find out one which best expresses, again a synonym for it. Unskilled means someone who's not skilled at all, and adept, a person, this would be the opposite, antonym. Okay, flexible is nothing to do with adept. Brave again has nothing to do with adept. Adroit, on the other hand, has come from the word droit or dexter. All these words means the same in different languages, which means clever or skillful. Alright, so adroit would be the right answer. Yes. Yes. No, Shubham, flexible will not be the answer, because adept means someone who's very skillful at something. Okay, so is an adroit. Okay, adroit also is dexterity, also talks about the same thing. Okay, someone who's very dexterous is someone who's very skillful. Okay, so dexter means skillful. Adroit has come from the I think French root word, and dexter has come from the Latin root word. Alright, so both of them means the same thing. Alright, moving on to the next question. Okay, now we have error spotting questions that we have to solve. Let's look at the first question. The company has launched a creative marketing campaign to reach for its rural customer. Okay, you do not reach for someone, you reach out to. Okay, when you have to reach out to its rural customer. Alright, so the error is in option C. Third one is the right answer. Okay, 3 has the error. So you are reaching out to, that means you are approaching the rural. Reach out to means approach. Alright, so 3 has the error. Moving on to the next question. Anand, you're saying A is the answer. Where is the error in A? The company has launched. No error. It is present perfect tense. That is absolutely fine. No error over there. Alright. So moving on to the next question. This year, a large number of funds have been prevented by alert clerical staff who insisted that customers provide valid identity proof. Okay, where is the error over here? Okay, let's look at it segment by segment. This year, a large number of funds, absolutely fine, have been prevented. large number of funds have been prevented by alert, clerical staff who insisted, absolutely fine, that customers provide valid identity proof, absolutely fine. There is no error, so fourth one is the answer. Okay, Anand is saying what spelling are you talking about, Anand? I do not understand. Spelling of what? Alright. So the error, this question did not. Yes, adept and adapt are two different things. Adapting to something is getting used to something, okay? And adept is skillful. Alerting. Okay. Moving on to the next question now. Banks which do not meet its priority sector targets are required. Okay, priority sector targets are required to pay penalties. Okay, now banks which we are talking about, not bank, we are talking about banks. Okay, which do not meet their priority sector. Okay, banks which do not meet their priority sector. So the error is in option 1, that is A. Okay, I'm so sorry. Yes, this year a large number of frauds have been prevented. Yes, frauds have been prevented. That makes more sense. Sorry, Sony. Thank you for pointing it out. All right. Next question. Yes, the answer is there. Banks which do not meet their priority sector, not its priority sector. All right, next question. Now what do we have to do? Which of the phrase A, B, C given below each sentence should replace the word phrase printed in bold in the sentence to make it grammatically correct? If the sentence is correct and as it is, and no correction is required, mark D as your answer. Okay, so you have to look at the phrase and tell me whether the phrase fits the sentence or not. Okay, so in terms with seating capacity, it is the third largest stadium in India. In terms of seating capacity, it's the third largest. It is the third largest stadium in India. In terms, we never use in terms with, it is in terms of. Okay, so when do we use in terms, within terms of? So this one would be the most appropriate. Okay, lunched. Okay. Yes, it is. There's a A missing over here. Launched. Good, Shubham, but I think that was the error from, again, thank you, that good that you are very careful about it, but the error was in the other statement. It was not spelling related error. Maybe it was a typing mistake or something like that. But that wasn't the error. But again, good that you saw it. All right. Okay, now, what does the word, what does it mean? In terms with, in terms or within terms of means specifying which aspect of it you are discussing. Okay. Or it can also mean in what point of view are you considering. How to prepare bank exam in English section. I lot of struggle in this section. I think money, this is a general problem of it's a general concern. It's not a problem per se, but I think if you keep on practicing, like I keep saying, I have mentioned it in every class, you have to be consistent, okay, and persistent with your studies, okay. You cannot take a break and then you can think. You have to work on it every day, okay. And live sessions are the best way of clarifying your doubts or knowing whether you are going right or wrong in which type of questions do you have a problem with, okay. So keep on practicing. Also, please make sure that you're always present in all the live sessions and you work on it with me, all right. And there are a lot of videos, money, if you want to again watch the videos. If you do not have proper skills in certain, everything has been covered in I think we have lots of videos, okay. So many things are covered in those videos, so you can take any concept and you can just watch a video and you can understand, okay. And it has been simplified for all of you, I believe, all right. So that is the meaning of in terms of, okay, or within terms of. So that would be the appropriate answer for this, okay. Generally used in terms of is both same within terms of. Yes, it is the same, Anand. We can replace in with within, there is no problem with it, both means the same thing, okay. Moving on to the next question now. Alright, the next question that we have is, in 1982 Asian Games brought about a major change in India. The 1982 Asian Games brought about a major change in India. What is the meaning of brought about? It means to cause something to happen, okay. So the right answer is no correction required, that is option 4. Alright, 1982 Asian Games brought about a major change in India. If you guys will make sentence using brought about, that would be absolutely great. So start making sentences using brought about, okay. So that means to cause something to happen, okay. So it can be a change, it can be anything, alright. So start making sentences, I'll tell you if you're going right or not. Thank you, Money, you're welcome. Always welcome. Alright, moving on to the next question. Okay, now is the spelling my favorite part. Spelling and word usage. You have to find out which one is wrongly spelled, okay. So let's get to it. Let's start with the spellings. Okay, these are just names of animals. I think you guys can do it easily. Okay, the word that we have here is dinosaur. What is the spelling of dinosaur? D-I-N-A-S-A-U-R, isn't it? Okay. Is the spelling of chimpanzees right? Chimpanzee is also right. We have to find the correctly spelled one. So chimpanzee is correctly spelled, tortoise is correctly spelled, dolphin is correctly spelled. I think there must be some kind of, I don't know, it says you have to find out which one is correctly spelled. I think all the 3 answers, there must be a mistake over here while copy pasting the PPT or something like that, the question, because only one that is wrongly spelled is dinosaur. Alright, other than that, chimpanzee, tortoise, dolphin, all are absolutely fine. What is no, Sony? I did not understand. Is it? No, as far as I know, dinosaur is spelled D-I-N-A-S-A-U-R. Alright. Sour is bitter. Yes, sour is bitter. But okay, sorry. There should be an O over here. S-A-U-R. Yes, that is where I went wrong. Yes. Not S-O-U-R, D-I-N-O-S-A-U-R, dinosaur. Yes, that is the mistake, dinosaur. Alright, I think rest of the words are correct. Chimpanzee is correct, C-H-I-M-P-E-N-Z-E-E. Tortoise is correct, dolphin is correct. Yes. Yes, Sony, thank you for pointing it out. Yes, dinosaur. Alright. Moving on to the next question. Let's see what next question has for us. Which one is correctly spelled? Again, it is asking which one is correctly spelled. Let's see which one is correctly spelled. This is confusing. I know, it was confusing for me as well. I got confused. So, okay, hesitant. What is the meaning of the word hesitant? Someone who's reluctant. Okay, hesitant and reluctant both means this, both are synonym. Okay, now H-E-S-I-T-A-N-T, is it correct or not correct? I think it is absolutely correct. Reluctant, again R-E-L-U-C-T-A-N-T, correct. Re-agreement, it should be re-agreement, so there is an A missing. Re-agreement. Re-agreement, to agree again, that's the meaning. So one I found out is not correctly spelled. Virulent means something that is extremely severe. It can also mean harmful. And I think it is also, the spelling is also right. So there's an spelling mistake in option 3. Okay, it can also be regiment. Yes, I thought it is re-agreement. I do not know. It can also be regiment that you are talking about. Re-agreement or regiment. I know this, the direction should say which one is wrongly spelt, not correctly spelt. Because there's only one that is incorrectly spelled, and that is this one, option 3. Only one is correct out of these. No, reluctant is correct, virulent is correct, all these words are correct. Okay, moving on to the next question. Let's see if we are going wrong somewhere out of these. Okay. I think the direction given that is wrong. Okay, what is the meaning of fragile? It is pronounced as fragile or fragile, again British and American pronunciation, but it is written always as fragile. Alright, so you can either call it fragile or fragile. Something that can be easily broken, or something that is very delicate is fragile. Okay, or fragile. Okay, so there is a spelling mistake over here. Luminous is absolutely fine, something that emits a lot of light or gives off a lot of light. Is a luminous object, like the sun. Bombastic is something that makes a lot of noise, high sounding. But usually they do not have a lot of meaning. Okay, stride should be stride. I think we have discussed this word before. Someone who takes a lot of someone who walks with a lot of, or takes a lot decision with a lot of precision. Okay, walk with long decisive steps. Okay, in a particular direction it can be. Okay, so what is the meaning of stride? Okay, so now we have two words over here which are wrongly spelled. Now what do we do with this? Delicate is fine, but brittle is something. Okay, yes, brittle as well. Brittle is just something that can be broken. Alright, moving on to the next question. So we have two errors over here. I do not know what to do with that. Yes, 2 and 3 are correct. They have the right spelling and everything is fine over here. Okay, moving on to the next one. Now we have pore. P-O-R-E. Is it correct? It is correct. Conspicuous. Again correct. Something that is clearly visible. I think we have discussed this word also. Very important word. Please remember this word. It sounds like something that is confusing, but it is actually the opposite. Something that is clearly visible. Alright. Porcelain. Porcelain is a white vitrified ceramic. So we use it as porcelain bowl. Okay, a porcelain bowl. And over here, malleable. What is the spelling of malleable? Something that can be hammered. Like we have studied this in chemistry, something that is malleable and ductile. Ductile can be easily. What is the difference between malleable and ductile and brittle? Okay, three different things: malleable, ductile and brittle. Okay, if we talk about metal, so we usually use either it is malleable or it is ductile. What is the meaning of both of it, and is the spelling right? You tell me. I think this has happened because of the autocorrect. Because porcelain is absolutely fine, the spelling is fine. Then porcelain cement, yes. Platinum is malleable. Okay. What is the meaning of ductile then? Conspicuous is also absolutely fine. All the words are rightly spelled. So I think there is, make it long and thin. Make it long and make large sheets. No, Sonia, I do not think that is the right definition of what we are discussing over here. Malleable is something that can be hammered. Okay. Yes, into long and thin sheets. Yes, and long and thin, it can be wires or sheets or anything. Ductile, make it large sheets. Yes, the metals that can be made into sheets are ductile. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Okay, so spellings was a major fail because we could not understand whether it is typing, whether it is autocorrect, or what is it. Let's move on to this one. Out of 4 alternatives, choose the one that can be substituted for the given word sentences. Very insightful and wise. Okay, so we have to give one word for someone who's very insightful and wise. Okay, now pedantic, I think this word is very apt for people who are solving error spotting question. You have to be very pedantic at solving error spotting question. And what does this mean? Excessively concerned with minor details. Okay, someone who's, and the other word, another beautiful word that is related to it, or it can be a synonym for this word, would be scrupulous. Okay, so someone who's over scrupulous is a pedantic. Yes. Okay, so someone who's so that is not the word. Someone who's very insightful and wise is not someone who's always has an eye for details. Okay, so remember this word pedantic. I think we have discussed it as well. Remember pedantic. Okay, and scrupulous. Okay, both means the same thing. Careful and yes, or we can also call them meticulous, but that would be far off. Cunning is someone who's very sly. Solemn, what is the meaning of solemn? Solemn means formal and dignified. Alright, and what is the meaning of the word sagacious? Very nice word again. Sagacious mean someone who is very insightful and wise. Okay, very wise is sagacious. Okay, meticulous is someone who's extra careful. Okay, so careful, the intensity, if we increase of carefulness, then it becomes meticulous. Pedantic, if someone is over scrupulous, the intensity increases and becomes pedantic. Alright, so that is how these words are related. And sagacious is someone who's very insightful and wise. Alright, moving on to the next question. Oh, this happened twice. Okay. Of the same kind. Okay, we are talking about the same kind. Okay, now kindred is someone who belongs to the same family. One's family and relation. Okay, so we can also call them family or someone who belongs to the same kin. Okay, can be one of the synonym. Okay, or family. Homogeneous is of the same kind. Okay, homogeneous mixtures we have studied. Homo is same. Okay, hetero is different. Okay, so prefix homo means same, prefix hetero means different. Okay, so kind is genius. Okay, amiable, like we have already discussed, someone who is very understanding. All right, moving on to the next question. Okay, amiable and amicable both means the same thing, by the way. Okay, both means friendly. Yes, Sony, both means the same thing. Someone who's very pleasant is amiable, and amicable is also someone who's very friendly or cordial. Or showing a lot of affinity, affable. All these words means showing a lot of friendliness or showing a lot of good nature and pleasant nature. All right. So that is how these words are. You can also say convivial. Convivial is also amiable, amicable, convivial, cordial, like I said, affable. All these words are related to being friendly. Okay. Can we move on to the next question? Moving on to the next question, guys. Okay, now the next type of question that we are going to discuss, I will give you the passage. You have to read through the passage quickly. And my friend is amiable in nature. Yes, of course, that is how you use it. Amiable is used as an adjective. Yes. Alright, so I will be showing you the displaying a passage. You have to look at the passage, you have to read through it, you have to skim through it, and then I will be discussing the questions. Okay, I will quickly go through it with you if possible. Confusing with amenable. Yes, alright. Okay, here's the passage, go through it quickly. Many people think that when new irrigation projects are executed and commissioned, the area will get eradicated. What is the meaning of eradicate? Something that is destroyed completely. I don't think I can write here. Destroy. Oh God. Okay, I'll write it separately. Something, okay, just understand that it just means destroy completely. All right, that is the meaning. But it is not true. These projects are mostly designed for irrigating one crop of light irrigated type. Even if 100% of the area under the command is irrigated, it would create employment to the landless for a maximum of 90 days a year. As per statistics, the landless, including marginal farmers, constitute 50 to 70% of the rural population. They are classified as agricultural labor, and many of them go out in search of work for the balance 270 days. Striking instances of this phenomena. What is the meaning of striking instances? Eliminated, annihilation. Oh yes, annihilation is also correct. Striking instances of this phenomena are seen in the Godavari and Krishna deltas in Andhra Pradesh, where 100% of the area is irrigated. The agricultural labor, who constitute 70% of the rural population, continue to remain poor, even though some go out to other places seeking work. It is therefore necessary to structure new livelihoods as part of water resources development projects whenever there is a possibility, so that the landless may get employment throughout the year. The World Water Forum (WWF) is in its Kyoto, that is in Japan, convention held in March 2003 recommended that all the future water resources development projects in the world should include the component of inland water navigation. I suggest that flat bottom sea going vessels 3,000 tons capacity should be able to ply in major rivers such as the Godavari up to Porcelain, SRSP Dam, and the Krishna up to Nagarjuna Sagar Dam throughout the year. It would then be possible to convey Singarini coal by the river and sea route to Haldia port in the north and Tuticorin in the south. This mode of transportation would be cheap and eco-friendly, involving least population and less consumption of fossil fuels. Alright, now the question. Since I read it with you, let's go to the question directly. Okay, so what was the passage about? Passage was about irrigation and how will the new idea of irrigation, how we have a misconception about this new approach to irrigation. Okay, what are the misconceptions and the examples, how farmers remain unemployed and now what is happening and how can they become employable. All right, and let's go to the question. According to the passage, why are marginal farmers even in areas with 100% irrigation facing problems? Why are they facing problems? I think we discussed this right here. They are classified as agricultural labor, and many of them go out for search of work for the balance of 270 days. All right, 100% of this area is irrigated. Labor constitute a rural population, even though some are place seeking work. Okay, so why? Because they still remain unemployed for 270 days in a year. Fourth one is the right answer. Sri Ram Sagar project. Okay, dam in Telangana. All right, thank you for that information, Soni. I did not know that. Landless and marginal farmers make up what percentage of rural population? Landless and marginal farmers we are talking about. So here we can clearly see that 50 to 70% is the right answer. All right, so 50 to 70%, that is option 3 is the right answer. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following is recommended? Is a recommendation made by the World Water Forum? Which one is the recommendation? Okay, so as soon as you see WWF, we have the passage right over here, recommended that all the future water resource development projects in the world should include the components of inland water navigation. So that is inland water navigation should be a part of option 4. All right. Very easy question. It's all numbers and stats. For how many days in a year can 100% irrigation facilities create employment for marginal farmers? Again, the same type of question, just put it in a different way. All right, so it is option 3, 90 days. Next question, the last one. What is one of the benefits of flat bottom vessel in the Godavari River? What is the benefit? Is it the cost of the steel would go down? No, it would become cheaper to transport coal to various ports. Yes, that is the right answer. All right. I think the passage was pretty simple. There was nothing. There was just words and numbers. You can quickly skim. Even if you do not read the passage, you can straight away go to the question, search for the answer as soon as you see the word, because all these words, Godavari, then WWF, then what else? The names and marginal farmers, all these have been used only once. So as soon as you see the word, you can quickly go to the passage, search for the word, and you get the answer right there. All right. So it was a very easy passage. Don't you agree? Agree or not? Can we move on to the next question now? Can we move on to the next question? Guys, any doubts? Shubham, Soni, Pranit, Anand, any doubts? Yes. Okay. Moving on to the next question then. Okay, 4 alternatives are given for the idioms or phrase underlined in the sentence. Choose the alternative that best expresses the meaning of the idiom or phrase. Okay. Okay, so you have to find out an idiom or a phrase is given. You have to find out which one would be the best meaning of the idiom or phrase. Okay, the marketing department in the Achilles heel of the company and is primarily responsible for the poor state of affairs in the company. The marketing department is the Achilles heel of the company and is primarily responsible for the poor state of affairs in the company. Okay, now Achilles heels. Achilles, I hope you are aware of the mythological story behind him, that no one can defeat Achilles, and it was just his heels. If someone shoots an arrow on his heel, or his heel was the weakest part of his body, okay, so that's where he could that's how he could be defeated. All right, so which one would be the right answer for this? So that means a company, what is the weakest part of the company? All right, so that is the answer. Major weakness, okay, something that is a vulnerable point. As it also says that if you see this rest of this statement, it just defines what is Achilles heel, and is primarily responsible for poor state of affairs in the company. All right. Yes. Moving on to the next question. The police officer found the accused The police officer found the accused a tough nut to crack, and the case dragged on 4 years. Okay, now he found the accused tough nut to crack. I think this is very something that is very literal. You can easily understand the meaning of the word tough nut to crack. Someone who's not very easy to, not very cooperative, or someone who's not very easy to persuade. Okay, so that would be difficult to get to cooperate. All right, tough nut to crack. Okay, a person who's very difficult to crack. Okay, guys, statement with both the idioms that we just discussed, Achilles heels and a tough nut to crack. Give me example statement using the two idioms. I gave you another one before, but I don't think anyone gave me any answer. Start making statements, guys. If you make statements, you will remember the word and how to use it. Hard to crack. Yes, Sony, but statement. I want statements. It can be negative, positive, affirmative, interrogative, any sort of statement. Just make statements and give it to me. If you do not, I'm not moving forward with this. So start giving me statements. I still can't see anyone making statements. Like I said, if you don't make a sentence, I'm not moving forward with this. Bank job is a tough nut to crack. Okay, good, Sony. Nowadays, puzzle is reasoning section. In reasoning section, a tough nut to crack. Puzzle in reasoning section, a tough nut to crack. Is it? I did not know. Okay. Alright. So moving on, you just made statements with tough nut to crack. That was the easy one, not the tough nut to crack. Achilles heels is the tough nut to crack. So kindly make statements with Achilles heels. Okay, till then we will go on to the next question. In the following question, select the correct spelling of word. Okay, now we have correct spelling of word. The first one. What is the word? Supernumerary. Numerary. Supernumerary. Okay. Numerary. Supernumerary. Okay. Now supernumerary means someone who is something that is present in excess of the normal or requisite number. Okay, like exorbitant would be another word for it. Making a statement with Achilles heel is tough nut to crack. Sorry, very smart. I am not going to, this is not this kind of statement I'm expecting from you. Come on. I want you to make a statement where the word, the meaning of the word is properly shown. Okay, for example, if I talk about my capabilities, maths is Achilles heels for me. Okay, so that means that is my weakest point. Poverty is the Achilles heel in India's growth. Yes, okay, all right. So supernumerary is, what is the meaning of supernumerary? Something that is present in excessive number. Okay, and exorbitant could be another word for it. Okay, so what is the spelling of supernumerary? Numerary. This is the correct spelling. Numerary. All right, supernumerary is the correct spelling. Alright, moving on to the next one. Salubrious. What is the meaning of salubrious? Something that is very healthy or health giving or basically healthy. Okay, so salubrious. The correct spelling is the first one. Salubrious. Salubrious. Okay. Next one. Onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia. What is the meaning of onomatopoeia? Onomatopoeia is the, you must have seen this in comic books. They use onomatopoeia a lot. Okay, the formation of words. I'll give you an example as well. From a sound associated with what is named. For example, BAM. Okay, this is onomatopoeia. Okay, and it is pronounced as onomatopoeia. That is option 3. Onomatopoeia. Poeia. Yes, all these sounds that you will usually see in comic books, they use it a lot. Bam and boom and hey and shh and all those, and chirp and slurp and all these words. If you are using the sound itself as a word, okay, that is onomatopoeia. Alright, so moving on to the next question. Okay, now all the statements are given in the active voice. You have to convert it into passive voice. I think this will be pretty simple for all of you guys. Yes, now too much of bang and boom and all that. Moving on to the next question now, okay? So you have to convert this given statement into the passive voice, all right? So let's get to that. I gave him 5 rupees. 5 rupees were given to him by me. Okay, 5 rupees. Yes, 1 is right. 5 rupees was given to him by me. No, 2 is wrong because were is the right answer. He was given 5 rupees by me. Again right. So either it can be 1 or 3. Both of the answers are correct. Okay, so fourth one will be the right answer for this. Next one. I expected that they would take up the matter. Okay, the matter. I expected that they would take up the matter. Okay, the matter would be taken up by them as expected. No. That the matter. No. That the matter would be taken up by them was expected by me. Very nice. This is the right answer. So the matter would have been taken up. No. So third is the right answer. That the matter would be taken up. Okay. By them was expected by me. Okay. So here is the subject going into at the end of the statement. Yes. So this is the right answer. Alright, moving on to the next question. Okay, now you have to fill in the blanks with the words that are given over here. 2 options are given. You have to fill in the blanks with those 2 words. Okay. The best punctuation is that of which the reader is least conscious. I think we discussed this one. I don't know how many of you were present, but recently we have discussed this same question. So you tell me what is the meaning of, on which word will fit both the blanks, which option. The best punctuation is that of which the reader is least conscious. For when punctuation or lack of it dash itself, it is usually because it dash. What is the meaning of obtrudes? Become noticeable. I think we discussed this. I am very sure of it. And recently we did discuss this. And I explained what does the statement mean. And we had a huge discussion on that. Okay, and effaces, what is the meaning of effaces? Effaces means erase from the surface. Okay, right answer will be option 1. The best punctuation is that of which the reader is least conscious. For when the punctuation or lack of it obtrudes itself, as in becomes noticeable, it is usually because it offends. Alright, so the statement, like I said last time, it means obtrude means something becomes noticeable. So it talks about how punctuation marks are very important and how when they are there you do not notice it, it's just there and you do not notice it, but the lack of it offends people, and when it becomes visible, it becomes meaningless, it becomes something else, it means something else, and it says something else, so it becomes offensive. All right, so that is the meaning of the statement. Moving on to the next question. If you are an introvert, you dash to prefer working alone, if possible will dash towards projects where you can work by yourself or with a few people. All right, so if you are an introvert, the basic quality, again we have discussed this, basic quality of an introvert, the solemn quality of an introvert is someone who likes to work alone, okay, or prefers to work alone, or someone who does not enjoys a lot of people around them. Okay, so If you are an introvert, you dash to prefer working alone. You tend to prefer working alone. And gravitate means incline towards. Incline. Alright, so prefer to working alone, and if possible you will dash towards, gravitate towards projects where you can work by yourself or with a few people. Alright, yes, tend and gravitate. Moving on to the next one. Unless new reserves are found soon, the world supply of coal is being dashed in such a way that with demand continuing to grow at present rates, reserves will be dashed by the year 2050. This one as well we discussed. I remember it very, very well. We discussed this as well. So we are talking about resources being resources depleting and resources being exhausted by the year. That means no longer, it will not be present, it will all be used, exhausted. Okay, so unless new reserves are found soon, the world supply of coal is being depleted. That means it is decreasing, reducing, decreasing, both are fine, in such a way that with demand continuing to grow at the present rate, reserves will be exhausted, okay, by the year 2050. Okay, we are not just burning coal and destroying it, we are using it, we are exhausting the coal. Yes, so option 3 is the right answer. Okay, once upon a time a man was hanged to death. He gets a letter from president. Hang him, not leave him. Hang him, not leave him. So pronunciation, punctuation is very important. Yes, right, Sony, punctuation is such a powerful thing. We should not neglect punctuation. Yes, we should not neglect punctuation. This is something, I don't know, I have a very funny story related to it. So there was this it is related to not just punctuation, it is related to grammar itself. When I was on a plane and there was this male steward who was very handsome, and we happened to exchange numbers, and as soon as I got off the flight, and he texted me on WhatsApp saying that I was looking forward to have a conversation with him, but when he texted me, you didn't looked back. Now that was something that I quickly blocked him, and I never ever chatted with that guy again. So that shows that I don't know if I'm that particular. I think everyone should be. English, it's not something that I'm not offended by people who use it wrongly, but someone, I don't know, wrong grammar just offends me for some reason. So you have to, grammar includes everything. It includes punctuation, it includes figure of speech, it includes parts of speech, it includes everything. Everything in English is powerful, yes, you're right. And that's the beauty of English. You see that English has the fattest of dictionary of all, okay, and not any other language has so many words which are, so English has many tools, if you ask me, okay. If you need a tool to probably screw something in the wall, you have the screwdriver. So it is like having a lot of options, okay, and you just don't have a screwdriver, you have the saw, you have everything, you have the hammer, because there are so many synonyms and exact words for exact feelings and exact, like for example, attention to details. Just now we did that. So instead of using such a long statement, we can just use one word for it, and that's the beauty of English. I am absolutely in love with the language. I don't know about you guys. So yes, try not to offend people by using wrong English. So you have to be very particular with grammar as well as written your punctuation as well. Okay, and comma is something that is undermined a lot. Okay, a lot of people do not know where to use commas, and it is one of the most crucial aspect. Like he just discussed it with the story, with a small story. I think that shows how important comma can get. All right. So moving on to the, I don't know why I deviated from the topic. Let's get back to the topic and discuss the questions at hand. Okay. Okay, next one. Our dash to understand the process of learning underlying behavior change is dash by the fact that any given behavior is determined jointly by many processes. Okay. Okay, so it's I think we have discussed this as well. So something that has many variants, we were talking about that, are attempt. Okay, our attempt to understand the process of learning underlying behavior changes, there shouldn't be a comma, behavior change is dash by the fact that any given behavior is determined jointly by many processes. Okay, so it talks about how we cannot understand behavior because it gets very complicated, attempted and complicated. Shiva, no, that's not what. Oh god, you guys are hilarious. I know Pranit, he should take TalentSprint classes. This was just an example. It's not that something that I do with my students, of course not. Alright guys, getting back to the question. Okay, getting back to the question. Next one. Not all countries benefit dash from liberalization. Again, we have discussed this question in detail, so I will not be putting a lot of effort on this one as well. Not all countries benefit dash from liberalization. The benefits tend to dash first to the advantage and to those with the right education to be able to benefit from the opportunities presented. Okay, so not all countries benefit dash from liberalization. Do they not benefit equally from liberalization? Suitably? Suitably is definitely not the right answer. Is it? Richly, downrange? No. Richly from uniformly? Okay, it can be uniformly or equally. Okay. Liberalization, the benefit tend to generate first. What is the meaning of percolate? I have discussed this. Please tell me the meaning. What is the meaning of percolate? Oh, Harjinder is here. Harjinder, right? If I'm not wrong, I remember your name. Harjinder. This is the first time you speaking. What, were you late, Harjinder? No, fourth is not the right answer. Not all countries benefit equally from liberalization. It's not about uniformity. Okay, it's about are they equally liberalized? Are they benefiting equally? What is the meaning of percolate? Yes, filter is the meaning. I discussed this word very, I think, in a lot of details. Percolate means filter something, okay? So it filters from the top, the advantage and things like that. Okay. Let's look at the question again. Not all countries benefit equally from liberalization. The benefit tend to generate first to the advantaged and to those with the right education to be able to, okay, I think fourth is the right answer. 2, 4th and 1 both can go well. Okay, let's just keep both for now. I am not sure why should it not be percolate, but I think if you look at the second half, percolate would fit better because it filters from the top to the bottom and it benefits from top to bottom. I don't know what explanation I gave last time, but I think percolate should fit properly. I'm confused. If you guys have an answer for this, Sony or anyone who has an answer for this, please let's talk about it. Alright, next question. Even the strongest critics of Prime Minister, what do you have to do? You have to talk about which of the phrases given against the sentence should replace the word or phrase given in bold in the sentence to make it grammatically correct. Okay, so if there's no correction required, you have to put option 5. Even the strongest critics of the Prime Minister, those who have most vehemently opposed. What is the meaning of vehement? Oppose demonetization are actually stands in line to say how bad black money is. Are actually standing in line to say should be the right answer. Okay, and what is the meaning of the word vehement? Okay, something that is with great intensity. Alright, are actually standing in line to say, okay, not are actually stands, which is wrong. You cannot use stands in line. Are actually standing in line to say, because we are talking about continuous tense, standing in line to say how bad is black money. Moving on to the next question. Wiser men than me are saying that all the money taken out of the economy when the big notes were demonetized will most probably come back. Okay, wiser men than me are saying, what are they saying? That all the money taken out of the economy. Is it right? Yes, it is absolutely fine. No correction required. Okay, all the money taken out of the economy. Okay, so we are talking about everything, all the cash that was taken out or pulled off from the economy. Okay, so no corrections required. Moving on to the next one. The credit for these deposits will be the only given after 2 banks. Okay, now there is a mistake. Some word is just not right. Will be the only given after 2 banks officials quiz the depositor as to why this money was not deposited earlier. Okay, the credit for these deposits. So basically it is trying to say that whatever money that you're depositing into the account, it will be questioned by the bank officials as to why this money was not put earlier and why are you depositing this money now. Okay, so that is the meaning of the statement. So if you put your money, so which one would be the right answer? Will be only given before 2 banks? No. Will be only given after 2 banks? No. Will be only given after 2 banks. This one. 2 bank officials. Okay, it should not be banks official. It should be bank officials. Okay, after 2 bank officials. Okay, so the right answer would be option 3. Remember, there's a small change in both these statements. There is an S missing, that's why third is correct. So you have to be very careful with these kind of statements. Do not rush and just mark 2 as the answer. Okay, moving on to the next one. The government has expanded the meaning of black money to also include the money on which taxes may not have been paid. Okay, so they have expanded the meaning, or they have extended the meaning. Is it correct? To also includes. Again, include it should be. It should not be to also includes. It should be to also include money on which taxes may not have been paid. Okay. So you see there is very small errors of S and statements with words with S or without NS. Okay, so you have to be very careful with these kind of statements. Moving on to the next one. There are actually millions of honest, self-respecting citizens who had stayed away with the tax net because they were allowed to. Okay, again, there's something wrong with the statement, isn't it? Who had stayed away with the tax net because they were allowed to. So what should be the right answer for this one? Why not 4, miss? For this one? Which question, guys? Please tell me which question. Please tell me which question. Why not 4? The government has expanded the meaning of black money for include also money on. Which previous one, Anand? Anand, please tell me the starting statement of the. Is it this one? Is it this one? Or is it this one? Just give me the answer. Is it the credit, the government, or there are actually? Which one are you asking? Okay. The credit for these deposits will be given only after to bank. Okay, given only. There's a problem over here. Given only. It should be will be only given. Okay. The structure should be will plus be plus only and then given. Okay, because we are talking about we are putting a restriction over here. It will be only given to those, okay, not given only after. Are you understanding the difference in the stress? Okay, for example, you will be allowed to play only if you passed your exams, okay, or you will only be given free time if you pass your exams. You will only be given, okay. So this is a condition. When we put conditions like that, you will only be giving this, or this will only happen when. So then you put only before the verb. All right. Understand the stress, okay? Conditions, when we put conditions before the verb that we are talking about. All right. So that is the explanation. Okay, I think this is where we were. There are actually millions of honest, self-respecting citizens who had stayed away with the tax. Okay, who had stayed away with the tax net because they were allowed to. Okay, now we are talking about millions of honest and self-respecting citizens. Okay, so these honest and self-respecting citizens were allowed to stay away. Okay, who had stayed away is past perfect. So past perfect is not something that it is something that is a consistent process. Okay, it is not something that was in the past and is irrelevant. It is totally relevant to now. There are actually millions of honest, self-respecting citizens who have stayed away from the tax net because they were allowed to. Okay, have stayed away. So it will be present perfect will be used over here, not past perfect. Okay, had instead of had we'll use have, because this is still relevant to the scenario that is given over here. All right, that's why we are using have instead of had. Had when do we use past perfect? When we have to talk about a situation which is irrelevant or not at all something that is not at all holds importance in the present time. Now this one on the other hand holds importance in the present time, and we are talking about how they stayed away from the tax. So that's why it is option 1 is the answer and not who's going 3. Okay, who has staying away? No, who has, who have. Okay, we are talking about people, so it should be have, it should not be has. Okay, and staying is continuous again. No. Okay, so the right answer is option 1. All right, Harjinder, got it? Why is it 1? Did you get it, Harjinder? Please let me know. Okay, moving on to the next question. Till then, what is the difference between away from and away to? Away from and away to. Okay, when do we use away to? If you can give me a statement, Shubham. Here must use past tense also. Last condition is past perfect, so why not this one? Which one? Okay. Okay, there are millions of honest, self-respecting citizens who have stayed away with the tax net because they were allowed to. Okay, so there are two parts of the statement. One part of the statement is in past, simple past, because they were allowed to is the simple past part. And why were they allowed to? The previous part is in past, sorry, present perfect. Why were they allowed to? Okay, for example, she has sent me a letter because I asked her to do so. Okay, so again, she has sent me a letter. She has sent. I am using present perfect to talk about an action which is relevant now. Okay, she has sent me a letter, and then the next part is because I asked her to. Okay, which is past tense. That means the action, the second half is talking about an action that was performed long back. Okay, that was done before this action took place. Okay, so past, we are going in that direction. Okay, first we are talking about the past, and then how is it relevant to the present time. I hope you got it, guys. I hope I'm not overcomplicating, and did I simplify it? Please let me know. If you need more explanation and more example, I'm ready to do so. All game for it. Okay. Okay, till then, each of the sentence is divided into 4 parts. You have to find out where is the error spotting. Whenever error spotting comes up, I start. Okay, let's just start. Okay, I think all of you have understood. Each of the sentence is divided into 4 parts. Choose the part that has the error. Okay, because they refuse to follow the conventional dress code, neither Shivani nor her friends is invited to the local society function. Okay, now can you tell me where is the error? Okay, now this is subject verb related error or subject verb agreement related error. Harjinder, I hope you are paying attention to this one, okay? Okay, now it says neither Shivani, because they refuse to follow the conventional dress code, neither Shivani nor her friends is invited. Okay, now when we have the neither nor case and nor case, we go by which subject do we go by? Which one is closest to the verb? Okay, and which one is closest to the verb? Her friends, which is plural, right? So neither Shivani, which is singular, and this is plural, and this one is closest to the verb is. So we go by the plural verb, right? Or plural subject. So it should be, instead of is, it should be are. That's the rule. Nor her friends are. So the error is in option 4. I hope you got it. Yes, the verb agrees with the nearest subject, and the nearest subject is her friends, which is plural. So the verb will take the plural form, are. Alright. Moving on to the next question. During the last centuries, whaling voyages. What is the meaning of whaling? It is the practice of hunting whales. It can be for their oil, it can be for their meat, it can also be for their whalebone. Okay. Now, coming back to the question, during the last centuries, whaling voyages departed regularly from the New England states, and because each voyage normally extends for years, the hold was packed with supplies before a whaling ship set sail. Okay, now where is the error? During last century, first we need to understand this is in past tense, right? Whaling voyages, we are still talking about a story that was incomplete in past, okay? So we are talking about a story that was in past. During the last centuries, whaling voyages departed regularly from the New England states, and because each voyage normally extended, not extends, extended for years, we are talking about a past story. The hold was packed with supplies before a whaling ship set sail. Got it? So the error is in which statement? Option 3. Whenever we are narrating a story, remember stories are always in the past, okay? And normally in simple past. So whenever we are talking about a story in the past, if there's a fact, then it has to be in simple present. Other than that, if we are talking about a story or an incident or narrating something in the past, it should always be in past tense. Okay, so it should not be extends for, it should be extended for. Yes. Moving on to the next question. The moment they came to know that their leader was issued a charge sheet, the entire group of workers went in a strike. Went on a strike. We never say went in a strike. We always use went on a strike, and this one was pretty simple. The error is in 4. Okay, people go on strike, they do not go in strike. Moving on to the next question. The reason why he was rejected was because he was too young. Any error? Yes, there is an error. Now tell me, where is the error in this one? what is the error? If you can tell me what is the error in the fourth one. Okay, when we say the reason why, it itself means because. Okay, so we do not use the reason why and because in the same statement, right? So the reason why he was rejected was that he was too young. Okay, so reason why is itself because, so we do not use because twice. All right, so we have to remove because. Okay, so the error is in option 4, because he was too young. Moving on to the next question. The Rotary Club applauded Hari and I for our work helping the handicapped in town find secure jobs. Okay, where is the error? Where is the error, guys? The Rotary Club applauded Hari and I. Okay, I is always used in the subjective form, and here it is not the subject. So, and what is the replacement for I in the objective form? It is me. Okay, so the error is in option 2. The Rotary Club applauded Hari and me for our work helping the handicapped in town find secure jobs. Yes, Hari and me should be the right answer. Alright, moving on to the next question. Someone is saying because is superfluous here. Yes, some superfluous is something that is not needed and accessible. Yes, right. Very nice. Alright. Now in these questions, interesting one, I like these as well. Pronoun related error, Sony. Okay, alright, where to use pronouns are pretty simple, no? Okay, I will take a session, probably in the next doubt clarification session, we can take a session on pronouns. Okay, and how to use which pronoun and where do we use which sort of pronoun. Okay. Done, Sony. Okay, now interesting one again. This is about, you have to find one word substitution. These were my favorite when I was in school and also in college. I mean everywhere. I just love one word substitution. Okay, so let's get to one word substitution. That which makes it difficult to recognize the presence or real nature of somebody or something. Okay, that which makes it difficult to recognize real nature or presence, the presence or real nature of somebody or something. So what is the meaning of pretense? Pretense is an attempt to make something that is not the case appear true. Okay, so that is what the statement also means. That which makes it difficult to recognize the presence or real nature of somebody or something. So pretense is when somebody is trying to deceive you. Okay, deceive you into believing something that is not true. Okay, so that is pretense. Right answer will be pretense. Camouflage is just, no guys, no. Camouflage is just blending in with the environment so that you are not seen. Okay, that is camouflage. Okay, so blending in with the colors of the environment or the environment itself, that is camouflage. It is not something that is not real and not seen and making it appear something else. That is pretense. Okay, deceiving or fabricating. Okay, so the right answer will be pretense, not camouflage. Yes, hide in what sense? Hide, camouflage means hiding, yes, but it means hiding in the way that you blend in with the environment and then hide, okay? So it is nothing to do with the real nature or presence that it becomes difficult to recognize, okay? We are not talking about difficult to see, we are talking about difficult to recognize the presence of somebody or something, okay? So pretending, yes, should be the right answer. Yes, Pranit, fake, pretending, deceiving, fabricating, like I said, all these words are related to pretense. Okay. Next one. A person who gets help or advice from a lawyer or any professional man. Okay. A person who gets help, not the person who helps. Okay, so the person who gets help is the client. Barrister is the advocate. What is the meaning of despot? A ruler. Okay, who holds absolutely all the powers, the absolute power, and usually uses it for cruelty and things like that. Okay, so despot is a brutal ruler. Okay, and party, I'm sure all of you understand. Okay, next one. A person who's very sensitive, selective, disgusted easily, and is hard to please. My God, 3 things at a time. Someone who is sensitive, disgusted easily, and is hard to please. Okay, what is the meaning of fastidious? That's the meaning of fastidious. A person who is very selective, disgusted easily, and is hard to please. Misanthrope is a person who hates women or has a tendency to dislike women. Not women, sorry, dislike all human beings. Okay, so someone who hates human being and thinks that people are just people need to take care of themselves, people are stupid, people are exploiting the mother earth and things like that. Okay, and what is the opposite of misanthrope? Philanthrope is the opposite of misanthrope, which means a person who does a lot of charity and is a humanitarian and does. Despot as Hitler. Yes, Sony, you're right. Hate mankind. Yes. Hates all human beings. Misogynist is the word for a person who hates women. Yes. Alright. Moving on to the... I am sure you all know what is the meaning of ambiguous. I don't have to tell you what is the meaning of ambiguous. Moving on to the next type. Next question. One who is an expert in judging art, music, etc. Now, you should know this one, okay? One who is an expert in judging art, music, or even wine tasting, or even food, okay? So someone who is very expert at that is a connoisseur. Connoisseur. That is option 2. Connoisseur is a very important, it is a French word for an expert in matter of taste. Okay, it can be any sort of taste. We are not just referring to the taste buds. We are referring to any kind of taste. It can be taste in art, it can be taste in music, it can be any of the above. Okay, so that is the right answer. Next one. To run away with a lover. Oh my God. This one is very easy. It is elope. They eloped and got married and lived happily ever after. Connoisseur. That is not the spelling. Anand, that is not the spelling. Alright. In fine art and music, yes, Sony, you're right. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this whole discussion. I hope all of you understood all the questions that were discussed, and we have almost discussed the questions for about 2 hours now. I am sure all of you are exhausted, so go take some rest and practice as much as possible. Be persistent at what you're doing. Make sure you practice every day, and if you have any doubts, you know what to do. Please, yes, post it on the dashboard. All right, post your doubts on the dashboard. Next class we will be taking up pronouns in the doubt clarification session, as Sony requested me to. If you have any other concerns with any of the probably concepts, so you can ask me. I will discuss it as you want me to. All right, so have a good day, good weekend to all of you. Bye bye, take care. This is me signing off. Bye guys. Please take a session on how to prepare English daily. I want to prepare for IBPS clerk exam. Please help madam. Sony, I think you are absolutely ready for it, and clerical is easier than PO. How to prepare for English daily. Okay, I will come up with something for that. Okay, so for clerical. Okay, I will come up with a method on which you can work on probably the time allocation to each topic. I will do that. All right. If anything else, please do let me know. Now I'm going to say bye. Bye guys. Bye.